Good day and welcome to today's meeting or lesson. We're still continuing with our heat transfer, but we're looking at how we are going to use the knowledge of insulating materials to let those information or to let that information assist us at our various homes when we are designing. All right. So today we are looking at conservation of energy in our homes. So by the end of the lesson, you should be able to explain that conservation of heat energy in homes can be improved by reducing heat loss in winter and heat gain in summer. You should be also be able to identify some insulating materials used in houses. All right. How do we use insulating materials in summer? So there your answer will be we use insulating materials in summer to prevent what? Heat gain and keep things cool. And why is it important to use insulating materials to make a hot box? Is insulating materials slows down what? The transfer of heat and allows the cooking pot to stay hot for a longer time. So therefore, when you use insulating material to make a hot box, whatever substance you keep in there or you put in there will be hot for as long as you want or for a long time. All right, now let's look at conservation of heat energy in homes and buildings. In winter, we want our rooms to be warm. Around this is winter, so you see that everywhere is very cold. So we will want our rooms to be what? Warm. And also in summer, we will want our rooms to be cool. So we can use insulating material in our homes to help us prevent heat loss or heat gain depending on the season. Insulating materials like what? Styrofoam, that is foam boards, can be used in ceilings to prevent heat loss or heat gains. We can also use carpets. Carpets prevent heat loss during winter. And then we can also use thatch roofs. Thatch roofs can help keep houses cooler in summer and warmer in winter. So this one, if you happen to go around the countryside or to the villages, you will see these thatch roofs. They are very, very beautiful. When in summer it's cold and in winter it's a bit warm. And then we can also use painting. Painting the walls of a house white can help reflect heat radiation, keeping the house cool than if it was painted a dark color. All right. Okay. Let me see. All right. You guys, you are all welcome. All right. So let's continue. So I repeat what I just said. I said conservation of heat energy in homes and buildings. All right. So we are looking at how we can conserve heat at home and also in buildings. So in the winter, it's cold, so we want the rooms to be warm. And summer is hot or warm, we want the rooms to be cool. We use insulating materials in our homes to help us prevent heat loss or heat gain, depending on the season. Now, insulating materials like styrofoam can be used in ceilings to prevent heat loss or heat gain. Carpets prevent heat loss during what? Winter. Thatch roofs can help keep houses cooler in summer and warmer in winter. Painting the walls of a house white can help reflect heat radiation, keeping the house cooler than if it was painted a darker color. Okay. Um, Please, if you are listening, I want you to mention two insulating materials from the slide that I just presented. Two insulating materials. If you were listening, I want you to mention any two insulating materials from this slide that I was presenting. All right, let's be fast. Keep your answers coming. Keep your answers coming. Mention any two insulating materials. Any two insulating materials that you have learned or heard from this or seen from this presentation. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Let's be fast. Let's be fast. Let's be fast. Let's be fast. Okay. Let's be fast. Fiberglass and all right. Molehi, you didn't hear me. I said mention any two insulating materials from the slide. This slide that you are looking at. All right. Kanye, you have done well. There is another one. We can also use what? Capex. That's good. Okay, now answer this question for me. Why do we paint our houses with a white paint and not a dark color? Yes, I said any on the slide, but that is fine. So now there is a question here. Why do we paint our houses white color instead of any dark color or instead of a dark color? Yes, let's be fast before we move on. Why do we paint our houses with a white color and not a dark color? Yes, I know you are typing. Make it fast. We're looking at reasons why we paint our houses with a white paint and not a dark paint. Yeah, somebody said in summer we want our houses to be cooled. So what happens? So what happens that your houses are cooled? What happens? Kauhelo, can you go further? Okay, let's go. Can you? Why is it that why is it that if it is darker, it wouldn't be cooler in summer? Why? All right, Kauhelo, you are welcome. Why? Yes, if you check somewhere, the last point is there. The point is the last bullet or point, where number 7. Painting the walls of a house white can help reflect heat radiation, therefore keeping the house cooler than if it was darker paint. So in simple explanation, if you paint your house with a white, it will reflect the heat away. When it reflects the heat away, at the end of the day, your house will be what? Cool. But if you paint your house, sorry, with a dark color, the dark color like black will what? Absorb the heat. And as it absorbs the heat, your house will be what? Warm, and you can sleep in it. Okay, that was cool. Now let's move ahead. We are going to the next. All right. Weather in South Africa, cold winters and hot summers. In South Africa, we have cold winters and hot summers. Currently, we are experiencing what? The cold winters. Our houses need to be made of special insulating materials so that they are cool in summer and warm in winter. In winter, insulating materials in houses slow down the heat transfer from the inside of the house to the outside of the house. In summer, insulating materials in the houses slow down the heat transfer from the hot outside air to the inside of the house. Okay, so let's continue. Now let's look at what foam boards for ceiling. So, and in order for some people to make their houses conducive, be it in summer or winter, we have got what is called foam board ceiling. They use foam board for ceiling. And what are foam boards for ceiling? Foam boards for ceiling are also what a kind of insulation. So foam boards are similar to what styrofoam and can be placed in the ceilings of houses. In summer, the foam boards slow what down heat transfer from the hot roofs to the roofs in the house, keeping them cool. The foam boards also slow down heat transfer from the warmer rooms to the cold roof in winter, keeping the rooms warm. Carpets are also good insulating materials. In winter, they slow down what the transfer of heat from warmer to the cooler floor. Very good. So far, if you have any question, you can ask, or if you want to add something, you are welcome about the topic that we are talking, discussing now. So go ahead if you have a question. So far, we are talking about what trying to make your house or your room warm when it's in winter and
Wow.
cold when it's in summer. All right. My dear learners, I'm asking a question. Is there any question so far? Let me know if there is any question. So we just spoke about one of the ways. Okay. All right. Then let's proceed. Okay. Thatch roofs. So we just mentioned that one way of what trying to insulate your rooms or your houses is by the use of what foam. This one we just foam board for ceiling. Okay. Now another one is the what thatch roofs, and these thatch roofs they are mostly found at what rural areas or even in the suburb. We do have some settlements in which they are thatched. All right. So thatch roofs are made of what grass materials. In summer, thatch roofs slow down heat transfer from the hotter outside air to rooms. In winter, they also slow down the heat transfer from the warmer rooms to the outside cooler air. Other roofs, such as tin roofs and corrugated iron roofs, become very hot in summer and the cause the rooms in the house to become very hot. They also they are also very cold in winter, with the result that rooms are also very cold. All right, so you see the importance. So if you see somebody house touched, maybe it doesn't mean that maybe this one is either poor or rich. There are even some rich people who touch their houses, and for what reason? Just for these reasons that we have explained. In summer, they want their rooms to be cold, and in winter to be what warm. Okay, just to balance. All right, let's progress. Now, this is your turn. I have been talking, and then I want you to talk now. Checkpoint one. Why is it better to use thatch roofs instead of tin roofs for houses? And 1B, why should we keep windows closed in winter? Send in your answers. Send in your answers. Why is it better to use thatch roofs instead of tin roofs? The tin roofs, if you don't get them, you can we are looking at the zinc or tin. You know, we have got some zinc roofings that are made of tin. I mean, we have got some roofings that are made of zinc, others are made of tin. So send in your answers. 1A, 1A is 2 marks, 1B is also 2 marks. So send in your answers. Type, 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 type. Okay. Why are they hot with Pelo? Why are tin roofs very hot in summer? Yes. Do you have any reason? Yes, send in your answers. Bekitemba, Molei, Kawahelo, Buipelo. Yeah, you have already done that, Buipelo. I'm waiting for you. Okay, let's get going. Mm. I'm waiting for your answers. Waiting, waiting, waiting. I know you are typing, so I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Continue to type. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Okay. Okay, very good. All you have got, all of you have got an idea. Yes. You remember we just spoke of what metals, and you remember some of them are and materials in general. Some are conductors and some are insulators. So tin, it will be an example of a good what conductor. So it will absorb the heat and then transfer the heat into the house or the room. Very good. Yes. Now let's look at one checkpoint 1B. Why should we keep windows closed in winter? So those of you who got the explanation right, just wait. We will go and then we'll mark in the, we'll do the correction in the next slide. So let's look at checkpoint 2, 1B. Why should we keep windows closed in winter? Send in your answers. Yes, why? Okay. All right. I do. Okay. Yeah, for now, you are just giving your answer. We will do the repair. We will do who distracted you. Concentrate. We will send in your answers. Then we will do the corrections in the next slide. So there is no answer yet. Yeah. Okay, somebody's yes. Oh, okay. I understand. Repair, no problem. All right. Send in your answers. In the next 1 minute, then we will check. So each is at is 2 marks each. 2 marks each. Okay. Let's get going. Okay. All right. Okay, X812, that's a good attempt. All right, so now all of you have done well by attempting. Then let's do the correction, or you can write down the corrections. Perfect. Now see what is happening. The first question was, why is it better to use thatch roofs instead of tin roofs for houses? And the answer is tin roofs become very hot in summer, with the result that rooms in the house become very hot. They are also very cold in winter, so cause the rooms to be very cold. In summer, thatch roofs slow down the heat transfer from the what? Hotter outside air to rooms, keeping them cold. In winter, they also slow down the heat transfer from the warmer rooms to the outside cold air or cooler air, keeping the rooms warm. Okay, all right. And then B was saying, why should we keep windows closed in winter? Open windows allow heat from the room to be transferred to the outside cooler air, making the room more cooler. Very good. So you close your room, so the little bit of warmth inside will be kept inside. But because it's cold outside, when you open it, then you are transferring more what? Cold into the room. And then you remember the cold outside is more or high than inside. So the cold will move from where it is more than to where it is less if when we were talking about what? Diffusion. Okay, but that is in grade 8. All right, let's move to the next. Yes, this is another assessment. This one we are talking about what? Interpretation of graph. Then we have label and undo me live in different houses but are next door neighbors. Label can feel that his house gets much hotter in summer than Ndumi's house. To prove this, Label decided to use a thermometer and measure the temperature of the rooms in each house on the same day. He recorded the temperature every 2 hours and presented the results in these two line graphs. So we have got what? Two types of graphs. We have got labels and we have got what? Ndumis. Now, what is happening is that, then watch very well. All these graphs, they are labeled. You have a title. The first one is labels house. Then the y-axis, we have temperature. And then x-axis, we have time. And then the second one, we have got Ndumi's house. The y-axis is temperature. And then the x-axis is time. Now, listen. So you need to copy the graph into your workbook and use the graph to answer the following questions. All right, so you just have to look at task 1. What was the hottest temperature in Ndumi's house? You check. And what was the hottest temperature in Label's house? So you check yourself. All right. So yes, somebody should mute. It's true. Okay, so we are, this question is trying to test your what? Your interpretation of graphs. So task 1, you have to look for what? The hottest temperature at Lumi's house. And remember, the temperature is on the y-axis and your time is on the what? X-axis. The same thing for Ndumi's house, temperature on what? Y-axis and time on what? X-axis. So we are doing with the first one. So you have to use the graph and then answer the following questions. All right, just keep it. That's very good. please send me a private answer. Send your answer to me privately. Wipelo, send your answer privately so that nobody sees your answer. Okay. All right. So keep you, and then each question is 1 mark. So 2A, what was the hottest temperature in Dumi's house? All right. And then B, what was the hottest temperature in Lebo's house? All right. So yes, I like the way Angela is doing A. So you can say A, 2A, task 1, 2A. You write your answer. B, you write your answer. Yes. Then after we move to the next, and keep your answers to your chest. All right. Let's get going. Angelina is here. Buipero is here. Becky Temba is also here. And who is also here today? All right. Let me see. Papele, Kauhelo, Kanyi, Jabulo Mulehi, X812. You are also here. All right. Let's keep pushing. Send you in your answers. Send in your answers. Angelina, check your answer for B. Check your answer for B. Kitemba, which answer? This 40 is for which one? Is it for A or B? Try to illustrate it well. All right, let's. I know you are busy typing, type and sending your answers very fast. Both of them, 2A and B. Can you? Your answers coming? All right, if you are done, let's go to task 2. Let's go to task 2. Mule, he tried to label your answer. You just wrote the numbers there. Is for what? 2A or 2B in task 1. Always remember to, okay, that's good. Always remember to label your answer. Practice if you always label your answers. All right, let's go to task 2. Let's go to task 2. So let's see your answers. 14 hours. Okay, just keep your answers well. Back it but check your spelling. What was the hottest temperature in Lebo's house? How much hotter was Lebo's house than Tumi's house? So in number 3, you have to do some calculations. After you record that one for Tumi's house, you record that one for Lebo's house. How much hotter was Lebo's house than Tumi's house? You have to do some calculations there. And 4, list 2 insulating materials that Undumi's house could be made of to keep his house cooler. So we have to apply here. Okay. Keep your answers coming. Keep your answers coming. Again, cow hello, X812, Wipelo. Okay, apart from Wipelo, I told you when you are answering, you number 1, you label 1, then you write your answer nicely. 2, you write your answer nicely. 3 like that, and to number 4, so that your work is very presentable. But when you are doing it, you are chopping it bits like that, it's not, yes, it doesn't augur well. Yeah. Okay. So from XA, you say air condition or fan. Are they insulating materials? It says, the question says, list 2 insulating materials that Undumi's house could be made of to keep his house cooler. All right. Sorry. Let's be fast before we go to Kahoot. Ice. Is ice an insulating material? All right. Perfect. Can you next time try to send me privately? Send your answer privately. All right. You're welcome. Now let's check our answers. All right, so these ones I've already explained that. Now, perfect. So let's see. Tax 1A is 26. Okay, let me see. Yeah, the difference calculated. Okay, number one, tax 1A is 26, 1 mark. Tax B is 39, 1 mark. So if you are between +1, -1 or +1 for number two, you are correct. And even number one. So what I'm meaning by +1 or -1. So B, if you got around 38, 39, and 40, you are fine, plus or minus from this number. Then here, if you also got 26 or 27, you are correct. So that's 1 mark each, 1 mark each. I saw some of your answers, they were correct. Then when we go to what? Task 2. Some of you got your answers correct. That's 1 mark, 1400 or 2 o'clock. Another mark. Okay. Now they were saying what is the difference in terms of hotness between labels and ndumis. So you just have to do the mathematics. You subtract 26, you subtract from the smallest from the what highest, and the difference is what 36 degrees. So if we go back to the question was saying how much hotter was Lebo's house than what Ntumi's house. So Lebo's house was hotter by what? 13 degrees, you see. Too very, very hot. Now, question 4. Okay, some of you got this one right. So here, if you do the calculation, is 2 marks. Question 3 is 2 marks if you got 13. So how did we get 13? We subtracted the smallest from the highest. So the difference is how hot Lebo's house was than Ntumi's. All right, now question 4, touch roof or phone board in the ceiling. That's correct. They said to mention 2. So that's when you mention 2, you get 2 marks. Or has a lighter color paint on the outside of his house. So there are 2 things here to keep Lebo's house cold. You can use a touch. So you can also use a foam. Or on the other side, Lebo can use white paint to paint the outside of the house so that since white paint reflects. All right, perfect. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The total here is 8 marks. Who got 8 marks? Who got 8 marks? Before we move to Kahoot, who got 8 marks? Verify your answer well. Verify your answers well before you make your statement. Yes, 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 yes. Verify your answers. Verify your answers. Okay. And next time, Becky, you can always improve. 8 marks, Moloehi. 8 marks. Okay, Kauhelo, that's very good. All right, keep it up. All right. Okay. Now, those of you who didn't get high marks here, let's go to Kahoot, then you will also get more. Then you have to try to balance it. We have got roughly 5 minutes left. Okay, so let me quickly switch. Let me quickly switch. Then we go to Kahoot. There we go. A bit patient with me. Then I'm there. A bit patient. Then I'm there. I hope you can see my slides. If you can see, just color me, send me a word that you can see me. You can see can you see, guys? My dear learners, can you see me? Not me in particular, yeah, I mean the slide. Okay, thank you. You can see me. Let's play then. If you can see, very good. It's now time to play. Let's go. Remember, it's the same method. The pin will automatically be generated. Just be patient and just be patient, a bit patient. It's loading. Yeah, there we go. Ready to join? Yes. Then take note of the pin that will be generated for us. Yeah, 153875. So let me just, the code is 153875. 153875. 153875. I can see in Jabulo. Molei is also here. Becky Temba. So far, I've got 3 players. The Humo is here. Let's compete. Let's compete. Let's play the game and learn at the same time. Yes, Angelina is here. Yeah, today is a full house. Kauhelo is also here. All right. Without waiting much time, if you are ready, let's go for it. 3, 2, 1. Then we go. How do insulating materials work? Let's get going. The fast, the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. Very good. By slowing down. Okay, only one person got this answer. Let's go. Okay, let's be fast. What are conductive materials? Conductivity is the measure of ability of a material, electrical conductivity. Through it, they don't pass to electricity. Yeah, conductivity is the ability of the material. Okay, now let's go on. Let's go to the next. All right. Materials that are good conductors include, so watch these ones. Yeah. So you have them vinyl glass, vinyl and glass, wood, rubber, plastic. Yeah. Most of you got it. Let's go. The scoreboard is going on. It's changing. All right, let's get going. Good materials to consider for insulating a freezer box include, yeah, we have them. Let's be fast. The clock is ticking. Duct tape, hot glue, cardboard and plastic players, duct tape, aluminum foil, plastic wrap, and plastic popsicle sticks. Aluminum foil, very good. All right, 4 got this one right. Let's get going. Yes, somebody is there. The top there is changing. Insulating materials don't allow electricity to circulate through them. Transmit electricity to all points of each surface. How they react depends on various factors. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay. 7 people got this right. Let's see whether the top will change. All right, the top is still. Let's go to the next. What type of insulating materials do we have here? We check it. Look at the diagram. and pick your answer. Is it the plastic and wood, plastic and glass, plastic and wood, plastic, wood, and glass? Which one is it? 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, perfect. Yes, let's go to the next. All right. Cowhedo has got answers in strict. Removing combustible scrap materials regularly is an example of what? Rationalizing risks, good housekeeping, intentional acts at risk work habits. Let's get going. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good housekeeping, perfect. One person got this right. Okay, let's see what is happening next. Luhumo has got a strict depth. Which of the following materials has an insulating property? Aluminium, cloth, styrofoam, none of the above. Let's be fast. To pick, the faster you pick, the bigger the answer. Styrofoam. Yeah, one person got this one right. Let's go on. Yes, Angelina is back to the top. Let's get going. 9. Which of the following is not a way of insulating a house? Double glazing, cavity wall insulation, thermal underwear, foil behind radiators. Which one? Let's get going. Which one is not a way of insulating a house? The correct answer is thermal underwear. Let's go on. Angelina is still at the top, but Kauhelo has climbed up. Question 10. Insulating materials resist the flow of electrons, true or false? Be fast. True. One person got this. Okay. Becky Temba was the first to answer it. Let's go on. Next. Which list of materials shows only insulating material? Yes. 2 people got this one right. Let's move on. All right. Ruhumo has climbed up. When stacking materials such as bricks or blocks, do not stack materials beyond height to base ratio, height to base ratio, height to base ratio, height to base ratio. 3 is to 1, 4 is to 1, 5 is to 1, 10 is to 1. Perfect. 4 is to 1, height to base ratio. Let's move on. Let's go to the next. Okay. 13. On cold weather trips, should you wear cotton or synthetic materials? Yeah, synthetic materials. Only one got this one right. Let's go on. Let's go to the next. 14. Examples of semiconductive or conducting materials are, pick them from there. Yeah, 3. Nobody got this one. Let's go on. 15. What will two insulating materials with different charges do? Yes. Insulating materials with different charges. What will they do to each other? I'll track. Perfect.